Galloway's Tech Talk at 3, Steve Nutt from Computer Room Services.
Okay, well, welcome everybody to Galloway's Tech Talk at 3. It's Andrew here from Galloway's. I hope you're doing all well. Really pleased again to be joined by Steve Nutt from Computer Room Services. How are we doing, Steve?
Yeah, we're doing all right, thank you. Yeah, and
excellent.
Debbie, my lovely assistant, ably sat there beside me.
Hello there, Debbie. How are we doing? Hey, nice. Can we see you, Debbie?
Oh, I'm hiding away.
Oh, you're hiding away. Can we not say hello? Oh, that's better. There we go. Hello, Debbie, the glamorous assistant.
There you go.
Excellent. Well, it's great to have you with us again, Steve. I think it's like been 12 months since we last had you on our Tech Talk at 3. We've been having every Thursday we have one of these, Steve. So it's great to have you back again. So I know you've got some new things to show us today, and we're looking forward to hearing about those. But for new people, we've got lots of new people with us today as well, to be honest. So it'd be great if you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself and Computer Room Services, if that's all right.
Of course. Sorry, I was just slurping water because my voice is.
No, you've got to keep yourself hydrated. That's really important.
Yeah. So we for those new to us, we've been running Computer Room Services since 1996, and Computer Room Services consists of 3 of us. So there's Angie, my wife, who is also blind. She has a little tiny bit of sight, but I'm totally blind. And then there's Debbie, who is the eyes of the business. So the one-eyed woman is queen, as it were, and and that's really how we roll. I like to think that we're small and adaptable rather than big and not adaptable. So what I do is, as well as doing, I do Braille transcription, which means we turn print or text or anything electronic into Braille for people if they want it. And that can be either on a refreshable Braille display. We can send you a file, or we can send you a printed version. I wondered who that was then for a second. Somebody just came in and got me on my blind side. So
at least you know you've got a sense of humour, Steve.
So I was born blind. We've been running the business, as I say, since then, and we, as well as transcription, we have some 180 odd products on the website, competing with RNIB, and anything that works for me, basically, we will sell. I am not an expert in magnification, never have been, and my wife doesn't use low vision stuff either. So we both use stuff that bleeps, burps, vibrates, or talks, or does Braille. So that's pretty much how we roll. As well as training, we do support. So if you have any computer issues, computer errors, you can phone us up. With your permission, we can remotely log into your computer, and we can then, hopefully fix it. But if we don't fix it, you don't pay. So we don't sit on your computer for 3 hours wasting time going 90 quid, please, because it's 30 quid an hour. We don't sit on your computer and waste time if we can't fix it. And so we do support like that. We also do support contracts. That's where you can pay once for a monthly or annual fee, and then you can ring us anytime if you've got any computer problems, and we hopefully will try and fix them. I think we're pretty unique, or one of the unique in this field of computer support. There aren't many companies that do it, so I'm quite happy to do it because we're blind and we understand speech and things like that. So we do all that. We also do on-site support or training, and we do training in JAWS, in NVDA, and we also do training in TalkBack for Android and iPhone with VoiceOver as well. I'm very much an Android person, but my wife is an iPhone person, so she keeps me on the straight and narrow, so we're balanced, if you know what I mean. I know pretty much about both of them, but I primarily use Android, and Angie primarily uses iPhone, which is a good thing in terms of the business, because if I don't know something about iPhone, I've got an expert on tap So that's quite handy.
Pardon the pun.
Absolutely. Indeed.
Is that a double tap though, Steve?
It could be a triple tap if you like.
It could be a triple tap. It could be a triple tap with 2 fingers or even 3.
3 fingers or whatever.
Yeah.
And especially now TalkBack has got multi-finger gestures as well.
Ooh, flipping heck.
Yeah, absolutely. You can double tap and triple tap now and quad tap and all kinds of taps, you know. Whatever you don't, as long as you don't get water on the brain, you know. So anyway, so that's our business. So that's Braille and training, and we also do restoring of recordings. So if you've got the hissy old recordings on cassettes, or if you've got them on, you know, in files, we can noise remove and clean up recordings. We do that, but we also train people, blind people, to use Reaper, which is an audio production software. Because we think it's the most accessible out there, so we train blind people to use that as well. So after all that, you know, I sleep occasionally.
a man of many talents, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's a whistle stop, really, of what we do. And also, I'm very, very fortunate to have an engineer who works for me, and he does all our repairs, and he repairs all our Braille displays because we sell Braille displays. And the reason I mention this is, if any of you wish there was a gadget existing that didn't exist, then give us a ring and ask us about it, because you never know, we might be able to build it. So, because we have manufactured, you know, 1 or 2 things before. We're actually working on a splitter box for phones, you know, for call centers at the moment, and we're almost there with it. So that's what I've just got into now. So, you know, all kinds of things we do here. So with all that said, the first new product I want to show you, this is new to Andrew as well. Nobody's seen this. It is a tiny, and I mean tiny, and I'll if I can hold it in the right way, I'll get Andrew to try and describe it in a second. It's a stereo high quality recording device. Hey, Andrew.
Okay.
What do you reckon to that?
Yeah, little bit higher. Oh, there we go. We can see that now. Yeah.
Tiny, isn't it?
It is tiny. Yeah, it's got kind of.
On my hand, you'll get an idea of the size of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like got 2 microphones pointing forward, I think, on each corner on the
stereo
2
microphones.
Yeah,
right angles. That's at 90-degree angle, and so you get high quality stereo recordings. Now, this is a bit like, for those who know about them, this is a bit like the Olympus recorders.
Yeah,
it's a bit like the DM7 and the DM5s and the LS14s and all that, which are all now pretty much discontinued, unfortunately, which is why I got this in here. So I'm going to turn this on, and I don't know if anyone knows the Olympuses, but they have 5 folders, folders A to folder E and things like that. So what it's done is it's told me immediately what folder we're in, and so there's 1 file in folder A.
Recordings.
So that's recordings. Music. FM radio. Bookmarks.
Settings. Recordings.
And that's it. So
Folder A, folder B, folder C.
So if you want to go to folder B or folder C,
Folder B,
you can go to
folder
those. And it's a simple matter of just pressing a single button, and you're now recording. After the second beep, we're actually recording. If you want to pause it, you press the play pause button, and you press it. That's paused it. If you press it again, it resumes it. So that's now resuming the recording. And if you press it now, the record button again, that stops the recording and it saves it. Now this is where it gets good. Here's our recording. Oh,
Folder A.
there we go. Right, let's try that. There we go. Because someone didn't press the no. This is brand new, Andrew, so bear with me. All happens. Literally just got this.
Folder A. 1.
There we are.
Length of recording 1 minute.
Yeah,
18
there you are.
seconds.
This is the bit I wanted to show you. That was the recording I just made. Length of recording 1 minute 18 seconds.
Date of recording 26th June 2021.
Which is of course wrong because the date's wrong on the device because it's a demo unit, but don't worry about that.
Time of recording 21 hours 12 minutes 15
And that's wrong because
seconds.
I haven't set the time.
25 hours 38 minutes 36 seconds.
So it's got 25 hours of recording remaining.
Time 15 hours, 23 minutes.
So the time's right. So now what we can do is we can go into settings.
Thursday, 1st July.
We go
2000.
there.
Recordings, music, bookmark, setting, recordings, settings, recording settings,
So
playback settings, interface, memory and information, more settings, automatic power off, date and time, year,
right. So the year's correct.
2020,
No, it's not.
month, year, 2021.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that's now done. So
Automatic power off, date and time.
so if I go
year,
back in there, so you go left and right.
month,
So now we go to month,
June, May, June, July,
and then we go right again.
date,
So the date today is the 1st. So
31st, 1st,
there it is. So now once I press enter,
done.
so the date and time is now set correctly. As you can see, I don't know if you remember, with the Olympus recorders, you could never set the date and time because it didn't speak. But
Yeah.
this is completely, absolutely, you know, speech enabled, which is a good thing about this recorder.
Matt,
And-
it's an Olympus model, this, isn't it, as well?
No, it's not an Olympus model.
Oh,
no.
is it not the Olympus model? Ah,
No,
right,
it's
okay.
made by a company called Ultranex.
Ah, okay. Because I
Yes.
have used an Olympus model that talks, but it was very, very fiddly. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and I think it was quite complicated. And this one kind of seems like it's a bit easier to use.
Yeah, and everything talks on it, so you know there's no
Yeah.
problem with that. So,
Date and time. Folder A, 1.
so the stop button takes you back, so you can come back out of the menu. So once you've done your date and time, so now I'm recording because it did 2 beeps that time, and so this time it is recording. Hopefully, I don't know quite why it didn't before. It was having a bit of a
Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2.
right. So let's stop that.
Folder A, 3.
There you go. It's got a new recording. Oh, there's a
There
recording.
you go.
here.
I can hear that now.
That's a recording. That's a recording I did earlier. So all you do when you want to find out how long the recording is, you press the stop button,
Folder A, 1.
and it tells you you're on number 1 in folder A, and then you press stop again,
Length of recording, 1 minute, 18 seconds.
then you press stop again.
Date of recording, 26th June, 2000.
Yeah, that was right because that's the date I recorded that recording. So and press it again.
Time of recording, 21 hours, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
50, remaining, 25 hours.
And then I've got remaining
38
25
minutes,
hours.
20.
Wow, you're never going to fill that, are you? 25 hours of audio.
Well, believe it or not, that is the onboard memory, right?
Right.
So it's got 16 gig of onboard memory, and you also can put a micro SD card in it as well.
Wow.
And you can go in and select in the settings. So if we go to the menu,
Recordings, music,
now I haven't got a card in it, but if
music,
I go down to settings
marks, settings, recording settings,
now,
playback settings, interface, memory and information, memory selection,
so if I go to memory selection,
internal memory card,
see,
internal memory.
it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can select the memory card. You can also copy.
Time of recording,
You can also copy recordings to the memory card from the built-in memory. So if you fill up your built-in memory and you've got a card in it, you can literally copy and move recordings to the card.
Yeah.
You can back them up to the card, all of them, or just one. It's got a lock, so you can lock down the.
locked,
There you go. The keyboard's locked, so now you can't press keys by
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah.
released,
And it says locked and released. And also, as well as custom recordings, there's loads of custom recordings. You can record in MP3, you can record in WAV, high quality up to 24-bit, I believe, and so on. As well as custom recordings, you can set the mic to presets. So if you press on this right-hand switch down, up, sorry,
interview,
that's interview. So that's kind of close up. That's a single
Yeah.
person. And if you go down,
Meeting.
a meeting, so that's a further, you know, recording the whole room, if you like, wider. And then within the settings, you've got kind of,
Music. Bookmark. Setting. Recording.
if we go into
settings,
recording settings,
Recording settings. Recording quality.
so if you go into recording quality,
44.1 kilohertz. 16-bit. Stereo. 44.1 kilohertz. 24-bit. Stereo.
we're going up.
48.
Yeah.
16-bit. Stereo. 48 kilohertz. 24-bit. Stereo. MP3.
And then we're down to
kilobit per
MP3.
second.
There you go.
MP3. 64 kilobit per second. MP3. 128 kilobit per second. MP3. 192 kilobit per second. MP3. 320 kilobit.
I was going to say, if you're going to do MP3,
Yes.
I'd probably say 320 is the only option, because otherwise the sound can be very kind of,
Yes.
the frequencies can be cut off a little bit, can't they? So
Yeah.
MP3 is probably okay for voice, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
at 320.
Yeah.
Can you record in WAV as well on them as well?
Yeah. So when we were back in there in settings,
Recording.
Yeah.
that was what it was in. When it didn't say MP3, it was WAV.
So once you set it to WAV, you're gonna have a lot less hours of recording compared to what you can do with MP3.
But then again, I'm using WAV at the moment, and I've still got 25 hours.
Oh, right. Okay.
You
Wow.
know, it's pretty good.
Folder A.
You know, and that's the recorder. Now, the only downside over the Olympus ones, I'd say, is it doesn't internally recharge batteries. So you can plug it into USB port, and it will power the machine. But the machine takes 2 AAA batteries.
Right.
And so what you can do then is you can tell the machine that the batteries are rechargeable, so it works out the current based on rechargeable, and then it will do that. And by the way, it does do. Hang on, let me just.
Folder A.
There we are. Now,
Rate rise OK.
yeah, okay.
Rate rise OK.
Yeah, battery's okay. So that means it's not fully charged, but it's okay. It's sort of charged. And it go fully charged to okay, to low, to very low, and then it'll start beeping at you, and then it'll cut off. What I've noticed about this, which is really good, is if the battery drains in the middle of a recording and it can't go anymore, it has enough battery to save the recording when it switches off. Some recorders don't, and I think that's really a good thing. So it will actually save the recording, and then it will shut down and it won't turn on until you charge it. So that's the Ultranix recorder. That costs £179. So that's
Shutting down.
and it even says shutting down, which the Olympuses don't, but they make a nice little jingly sound, don't they? So that's the Ultranix recorder, and that's the first of the 2 new products I wanted to talk about today. And the other one is the NaviBelt, which Andrew already knows a little. What do you know about the NaviBelt, Andrew?
I'll be honest, not too much, Steve. I've been waiting for this today, so I've been waiting for your brilliant demonstration.
This is going to be very difficult to demonstrate. I can show you it, but it's going to be very difficult to demonstrate.
Yeah, it's a bit of narrative around how it can be used.
It's vibrating, you see.
Yeah, yeah.
So, we'll let you look at the belt. So this is it, and you'll notice it's got a box with little buttons.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you want, you can actually wash the belt. You can take the box off that tube, and then you can take it right out of the belt, and you can wash the material. They recommend hand washing or a very low temperature,
Yeah.
you know, for washing the belt. And it goes on you, but it goes above your trousers, right? I don't know if the belt's on me, but it's actually.
Oh, there
above.
we go. Look at that. Thanks, Debbie.
That's okay.
It's on, so it's above my trousers.
Right. Okay.
The idea is it needs to be as close to your shirt and your stomach as possible.
Right.
When you turn on the belt,
Return to the side a minute, Stephen. We're going to see buttons.
Ah, okay. So
Buttons
there's
there.
like some buttons there, quite high
Right.
contrast buttons, aren't they, as
four,
well?
4 buttons.
Yeah.
And we've got the pause button in the middle. We've got the favorite button, and that's for the app when you use, because if you got a phone, you've got an app for Android and iPhone as well. And it's got a favorite button for that. And then you've got the on off button. Now, when you turn it on, it vibrates all around your body. It's got 16 vibrate motors in that belt. All around your body.
Right.
Okay. Now it's doing nothing because I'm not moving except poking me in the ribs. So it's giving me little digs either side to tell me that I've got the belt turned on, but I'm not moving. Right. Now, if I put it in compass mode, which is the top button of the 4, now what it's doing is it's vibrating to my left-hand side of the belt, right? And that tells me that I am actually, let me see, that's north, so I'm facing east.
Okay.
Because the belt is vibrating to my left. If I turn to the left, the vibrate moves to my right. So when the vibrate is directly at my stomach, that means that I'm facing north.
Ah,
right?
okay.
If the vibrate is directly at my back, I'm facing south. Okay. So that's the first mode, compass mode. That doesn't sound really that exciting, does it? You know, why would you buy a belt just so that you know what direction you go?
I quite like that though. I quite like, you know,
I love it.
The you know, the way that you would know whether you were north, south, east or west. That makes sense.
Yes.
About where that is. Yeah.
Yes. And the other thing it helps you with is walking straight.
Yeah.
Because if you know exactly where the vibrate is, you keep the vibrate in that spot, you know you're walking straight, don't you?
Oh, okay.
Right. But walking straight, we're not there yet. I was going to talk about walking straight is the next thing I'm talking about. If you double tap the compass button, it goes into what's called beeline mode. So whatever direction you're facing, it doesn't matter. You double tap the compass and it vibrates your stomach, right? What happens then is you start walking. And if you veer, it will move. So in other words, if you're walking across the road, you know, because I find it difficult to walk straight, being a blind person. If you walk across the road, it it vibrates your stomach. And if you veer to the left, it'll move to your right. So you know that you've veered off course. So what you want is you want to make sure that the vibrate stays at your stomach until you take it out of beeline mode. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see the advantage of that too, because that helps
Yeah.
you walk dead straight, doesn't it? You see?
Yep.
Now we come to the app. So the app has got a GPS mode. So the Android and the iOS app have both got the same. You've got a GPS mode, and you can do turn by turn, and you can do beeline mode, and you can do compass mode, or you can do both of those three, so 2 of those 3. So in other words, you can have it in compass mode and turn by turn mode, or turn by turn mode and beeline mode, right? So what you're going to do, or you can just have turn by turn. And what that does is, for example, if you've got it on beeline mode, it's always going to vibrate your stomach while you're walking straight. But if you've got turn by turn on as well, it will give you a dig in the side that you need to turn. So in other words, when you're coming to a right turn, it will dig, you know, it will give you a tap on the right hand side of you. Yeah. And when you need to turn left, it will tap on the left hand side of you to tell you that you need to turn. And it does that about 10 meters away from the turn. And you can set that up in settings so you can have less or more. So it does that. If you have it in compass and turn by turn mode, then north will always be displayed on the vibrate. So in other words, if you're facing north, it'll be at your stomach. And if you're facing east, it will be to your left and so on. And it will poke you for turn by turn as well. And that's the basic premise of the belt. Apparently it was developed by blind and sighted people alike and sighted people said that, you know, it was useful to use in the dark and things like that, to give them a sense of direction. And the blind people say, of course, it's good for, it's not an object locator. It doesn't detect objects, but it gives you a constant awareness of direction. So while I've got the belt on, I can just walk around, and what I generally do if I'm out is wearing it, I put it into compass mode and just walk around, and I've got a basic awareness of what direction I'm facing. Currently facing east, and as I move around, it vibrates to my right. So the vibrate moves around my body because it's got 16 vibrate motors going all around the belt. The battery lasts for ages. I think I've only charged it once since I've had it, and that's about a month or just over. So I don't know how they do that, but it does. It's water resistant, but not waterproof. That is to say, if you're out in the rain, it shouldn't matter too much, but don't immerse it in water. So that is the belt. It's also got, it pairs to your phone via Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And that's how the app can tap you when you need to turn left and right. And that's pretty much it.
Does that work with, so does that only work with one proprietary app? Is so does it work with any other apps at the moment, Steve, or just
no,
the
it
official
only
app?
works with its own app.
Yeah.
However, you can run another app in the background. Like I've ran Google Maps in the background, so it speaks to me as well.
Yeah.
You know? But what they've said to me is that they're going to make the API open source, so any app can use it.
I was going to say, because I was thinking it'd be really useful in some of the other navigation apps like Soundscape.
Yes.
And you know, maybe some of the other accessible apps for navigation as well.
Yeah.
To give you those tap. As you say, it does it does have navigation in the main street, the app that comes, you know, that they recommend you download, the official app.
Yes.
So you can walk around with it.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice when actually, I was going to say, does the official app, does it have like an explore mode in that app? So not navigating, but
Yes.
one of those explore modes that says, you know, there's a coffee shop on your left.
Yes,
Bank's
it does.
coming up on you. Ah, right, okay.
I could do all that as well.
Yeah, that's quite good, because that's what I quite like.
But the bit I like most is that if I put that in turn by turn and run it, you know, I don't have to listen to it. I don't have to hear it. So if I'm in traffic, I don't have to hear it because the belt is tapping me to tell me when to turn left and right.
Yeah.
And I've used it in controlled conditions, haven't I, Deb, when we've been walking to the post office, and it's told me when to turn left and right, hasn't it, and things like that. And you know, it's for me, it's really good, because on a personal level, I'm talking about now, not as a salesman. For me, as a totally blind person, it means for the first time ever, I can walk straight, if that makes sense. So it's another way of doing it.
I think it helps if you've got, like, you know, the personal experience of using it yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you can really let people know how it's going to benefit them.
Yeah, there is a, you've got to make sure that the Velcro's on your left, and the box is just above your trouser pocket, type of thing. And then there's a little piece of string on this that they say should be directly at your stomach, at your belly button, as the Germans put it. You know, and then, but the guy who actually founded the company, he said when he first ever took this to an exhibition, he said it was in 2017, 2018. He said, and he said he gave it to this lady to try. He said, and she put it round her, and he showed her where the on-off button. She turned it on, and of course it vibrated all around her body to give her the battery life, and she screamed. But he said now she loves it. She's got one, and she loves it.
I was going to say, did you say that you can control the intensity of the vibrations?
You can, yeah,
as well.
Through the app. You don't have to have the app though. To be fair, I mean, I know of people who've got the belt, but they haven't got the app. And use it in beeline mode, compass mode, all that you can do with the buttons on the belt. So if you want to use it to walk straight, if you want to use it to know what direction you're going,
Yeah.
you don't need the app to have the belt.
I
No.
suppose you're gonna, if you are gonna get one, you're probably gonna want to use it with the app to make, take full advantage of all
You
its
do.
functionality, aren't you?
Yeah, you do. But most of the time, I use it without the app. To be fair,
Okay.
I use it for the direction. Knowing that my direction and things like that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Because, yeah, I suppose. I mean, yes, if you've got a phone, you're really going to want the app. But what the reason I'm saying that, Andrew, is that you don't have to have an iPhone or an Android phone
Yeah.
to get something out of the belt, if you know what I mean. It's not a you have to have the app thing to use it, because it will work without the app.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And how much does that one cost then, Steve?
It's
the Navi
pricey,
belt?
this one. It's 1,995.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It is a pricey one, isn't it?
The brains, it's the box.
The brains that's in the brains that are in the box.
Yeah, that's what costs the money.
Yeah. And if people, if people are interested in trying that out, would they have to commit to buying it, or is there a return? If it wasn't for them, would they be able to return it for a refund? How does it work?
Yeah, so you would buy it. You would buy it, although we can always come and demonstrate it to people if they want, because it's an expensive bit of kit.
Yeah.
However, you can buy it and get a full refund after 30 days. If it's sent back to us in the same condition.
Yeah.
You get a full refund for 30
before the 30 days.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think that's long enough to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're gonna buy one, make sure you buy one, and you've got plenty of opportunities to try it out, use it.
Yeah.
Which is the main thing. It's good to see. I mean, there's lots of new wearable technology now coming out. A lot of lots of new things coming out that that can help blind and partially sighted people. So it's great to see, and it's if you've got one of those maybe around you, and maybe you might like to use like a buzz clip or something like that at the same time, for other things that may be in your way. And
is anyone selling a buzz clip now?
Yeah. Graham Longley from Aspire Consultancy sells the buzz clip. Yeah. Right. So you could, you pair those two together, you've got quite a good system there, haven't you, for object detection, plus you've got the Navi belt to know you're walking in the right direction.
Or you could pair it with the Sunu band.
Yes.
Which we sell as well.
Yes.
That goes on your wrist.
That's the one.
That one goes on your wrist. Yeah. But the nice thing as well, this belt isn't got a buckle or anything like that. It just comes off with Velcro like that. So very simple.
Easier.
So
That's easier to use, isn't it?
Yeah. It's I genuinely like it. It's not something that I would sell to anyone because it's a novelty type thing. I really like it. I like the idea. Nobody's ever thought about blind people, as far as I know, walking straight. And it's quite a good idea.
Yeah, it just I mean, the walking straight, does that I'm sure that when you're using the app to navigate from A to B, is the kind of the beeline mode, that's the one that helps you walk straight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that more accurate when you're navigating using GPS?
Yes. Yeah. So you can use that in tandem.
Yeah. Or
you can just use the GPS. If you don't want constant vibration, you can just use the GPS, and it will just dig you in the side or the stomach or the back.
Yeah.
Depending on what way, well, not the back, but the side. I think it does actually dig you in the back if you go off route.
Right. Do you know what it reminds me of, Steve?
What's that?
It reminds me of one of those muscle toning belts. The ones.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it tone your abs up at the same time as well.
Well, it could certainly give you a thrill, couldn't it?
Oh, dear me.
But I'll give it to you for what it's worth. That was a demo of another new product.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. Well, it's an option. It's another option for people out there. They like to try it. Has it been quite popular then? Have you sold a few of them already?
Well, we've only, bear in mind, we've only been selling it for about 6 weeks, 2 months
Right.
maybe, and we've
Yeah.
sold 4 of them. So that's not too bad.
Yeah.
You know.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Sounds really good. Yeah. No, I like the idea of it. I'm looking forward to trying it, and I can imagine when you first start using it, it feels a bit strange,
It does. Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
takes you a while getting used to.
Especially when you're standing still and it's digging you in the ribs. So digs you either side, not digs you, but taps you, but you can also, when you're standing still, you can press the pause button and it won't do that anymore. And then when you want to start walking again, you resume by pressing pause again.
I think it's probably one of those products that can be modified, that can be updated with the app. So it'd be nice if there was it'd be quite cool if your phone was ringing or you got a notification that the belt was able to do some taptic vibrations to tell you you've got a phone call coming through, or you've got a notification. That would be quite good.
Yeah.
So sure, there's lots of ways they can adapt it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be connected to the belt while you Bluetooth all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
To have that, But yeah, that's another possibility. And they do update firmware in the app. They update the actual box through the app.
Right.
So that's the belt. And of course, as I say, you can combine it with the buzz clip, or you can combine it with the what do you call it?
The Sunu band, yeah.
And then there's a white cane called WeWalk, isn't there? We don't sell it.
Yeah, we've got WeWalk. Actually, seeing as you mentioned that, we've got WeWalk joining us at the end of July to come and talk to us.
Have you?
About the cane? Yeah.
Well, on one of the Thursday ones.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, the very, very last Thursday in July. So you're welcome to join us if you like. I was
going to say, would you object if I joined you? Because I'd be very interested to.
I don't know actually. Now that you said that. No, yeah, of course you can. Of course, we'll let you on.
All right. Oh well, you don't have to. I mean, it's your local state, isn't it? I mean, I'm an invader, aren't I? Really?
No, you can come on every week if you want to, Steve. You're always welcome. Absolutely, yeah. No, it'd be a good one because they've got an app as well that they've developed, which is free to use. We're going to take a look at that one week as well, but they are coming to talk to us about the actual smart cane itself, and because it's quite there's not a lot of knowledge around it really unless you've tried one and used one, so it'll be good to get some more information about that.
Another one, isn't there, called Bauer cane?
Yeah.
Have you heard of that one?
I've heard of that one, but I haven't seen it or used it or tried it. Yeah.
I'm trying to get information about it.
It's you know what, to keep up with everything, because there's so much new stuff coming out all the time, isn't there?
Yeah.
New products and things.
Yeah.
A lot of these things are like startups, startup companies that have developed an idea and suddenly, they come to market with something, and it's not always easy to get hold of or try. That's the problem.
While you're on, if you want to see me and especially the lovely Debbie face to face, we'll be at Site Village in August, 17th and 18th at QAC.
Right, excellent.
So
you'll be going to that. I think we said a few times that when we get back face to face, we'll get you over to Galloway's to.
Absolutely, we'll come over, won't we, Deb?
Yeah, absolutely. Get you over. Bring your box of tricks with you, and then we'll get you over to some of the Galloway centres. Which would be great. But we do, we love our virtual things at Galloway's.
How many centres have you got?
Say again.
How many centres have you got?
We've got 4 centres. They're not all open at the moment.
No.
But we're limited. We're limited at the moment with kind of our face-to-face support.
Of course,
we're only opening at the moment in Penwortham and Morecambe, and we're just kind of waiting for the restrictions to ease and things to settle down. And once it does, then we see where we're at again.
I'd be delighted to come over.
But Steve, while I've got you on here, I mean, the last 15 months, with COVID-19 and the restrictions, I bet you've done more Zooms than you've ever done in your life before, haven't you?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You're just online constantly all the time.
You're not wrong because, blind people have got nothing else to do. They're working at home and they find something wrong with their computers as well. So we get phone calls, can you fix X, Y, Z?
Yeah.
And I'm doing these online meetings like this for other societies as well and things like that. I'm also doing advocacy for accessibility for companies like Quickbooks
Oh, okay.
QuickBooks is a financial package for
Yeah.
small businesses. And when I started with it, it really wasn't accessible at all. But they've got an accessibility manager, and he and I are batting things backwards and forwards to try and get it improved and things like that. You know,
Oh,
I've been doing a
excellent.
lot of that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
And,
quick way of managing all your receipts and your accounts and things like
yes.
that, isn't it? You pay
Yeah.
for it on a
yeah,
on
I
a
mean, it's
monthly
fantastic
basis.
because it does your tax returns, it does your VAT returns, and
Oh,
it
okay.
even submits them to HMRC now as well.
So do you use that now as well then, Steve,
Yes, I do.
yourself? Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, and I you know, I'm a QuickBooks trainer now, so I train small businesses, you know, owners that are blind to use it.
How frustrating is that, Steve, when there's something that, you know, you want to access online,
Yeah,
and it was really simple for that web
Yeah.
developer to make that accessible, and sometimes they don't think about that, and
sometimes they blow you out, don't they?
yeah, but you know what, when it's not right, and they take your advice and they make those changes really quickly,
Yeah,
you kind of don't mind, really, do you? You kind of like think, well, we've worked together, we've done it, but it's when you have to chase something
yeah,
and you kind of feel like, why am I having to, you know, almost beg for you
Yeah.
to make your
Make up.
business or your service accessible so that I can spend money with you?
yeah. I know it's mad, isn't it? But on the other hand, I had a very good story. I've got a just above the camera here. I've got a big speaker up here, which is called Blue Sound, and I love Blue Sound stuff because it plays high resolution music and so on.
Yeah.
And when I first bought it, the app on Android and iOS was completely inaccessible. It had loads of unlabeled buttons, everything else like that. And I emailed Blue Sound and I said, I've got your speaker, but the app is dreadful if you're blind. You really can't use it. And they contacted me and we had a meeting online and various things like that. And all they said to me was, leave it with us.
Yeah.
Right? 3 weeks later, I mean it, 3 weeks, I'm not exaggerating, I got an email back and they said, we've got an update for you, can you try it? Fully accessible, absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that is amazing, isn't it?
It is. I think if you reach out and you
Yeah.
ask the question and
it was on all platforms as well, Andrew. You know, it was at iOS and Android. They didn't just go one and we'll do the other one in 3 months.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know,
if you reach out and you don't kind of, you don't kick off, you're polite and you're nice and you say, look, listen, this is what I think you need to do, and these are the if you try and work with people, because as we know, even though there are guidelines out there, to make things accessible, it doesn't always happen, but we just need to be more vocal and say what we think and what we need.
But don't go out a bull at a gate. That's what I would say.
No.
You know, don't say, oh, your app is crap, I don't want to use it.
No, that's
just
it.
Say,
that's it.
Look, it don't work at the moment. Please, can we improve it for blind people?
Otherwise, I'll spend my money somewhere else.
Exactly. Yeah.
As polite as I can get.
What I normally do is on Android, I normally say, look, I'm not going to put a crap review on the Play Store, but if you don't fix it, I will. and then they sort of listen to you then,
Yeah, they think, oh, if Steve Nutt leaves us a really bad review, I mean, everybody knows who Steve Nutt is. Yeah, he's got a good reputation. We don't want him leaving us a bad review online, and that's it then. You finished?
Anyway, I don't know if you want to open it up for questions.
I am going to. I'm just about to do that now. But it's been great chatting with you there, Steve, and we'll certainly open up for questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask everybody to unmute. You'll get a message on your screen saying that we'd like you to unmute yourself if you'd like to, or you can stay muted if you want to. Or if you're on a telephone, you can press the star and 6 key to unmute yourself. I've just put a message out now to everybody to ask you all to unmute if you'd like to. I think some people have already unmuted there already. And Steve's open for questions. If anybody's got...
Tracy's got a hand up, Andrew.
Yeah, go for it, Tracy.
Hi, Steve. It's Tracy here. Very interesting presentation. Thank you for that. Can you just tell me, what was that audio recorder called again? I didn't quite catch it.
It's called the Eltronix, very snappy name, ELTRINEX V12 Pro.
Wow.
Next.
Yeah, it's the Eltronix V12 Pro, Eltronix is a company in the Czech Republic,
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
and I'd never heard of them before. And if you go to talking-recorder.com, you can see all information about it.
Go to where again? Sorry.
Talking-recorder.com.
wow, okay.
Yeah, and you can read about it all in there, and it's on our website as well as an option there. But yeah, it's a super little recorder.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? The
Yeah,
Ultranix.
Eltronix.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, thanks for that, Tracy. Yeah, it's good. It's great to see, you know, voice
Yeah.
more kind of advanced voice recorders out there that that tick a lot of boxes for what people might need, and I suppose a bit more professional as well. If you need something, you know, to provide you with that professional audio.
Yeah, I forgot to say you can
It's a
put.
very useful tool for,
Yeah.
especially if students on like a disabled students allowance. I mean, something like that would probably be very good for recording lectures and things.
It
I mean,
is.
I know when I was at university, I used an APH tape recorder that used cassettes, and you could actually record on 4 streams instead of 2.
Yeah, I remember those, the 4-track machines.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, they were good for the time, but they were bulky and
Yeah, the thing I like about this recorder as well, which I forgot to mention, is it has bookmarks, it has indexing. So while you're recording, you can press the top left button, which is the indexing button. And every time you press that, it will put a bookmark in your recording,
Yeah,
and then you can jump through those bookmarks.
that's
yeah.
pretty cool, isn't it?
Handy
Yeah.
that, because I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
like,
that's
for law
good for
lecture,
lectures and meetings.
Exactly.
That.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, for a lecture, if you're doing it and they sort of list the subject matter, then you can reference that by a bookmark, and it would make it very quick to go to. So that's quite useful. Thank you.
Even better, if you recorded an hour-long lecture and you think, I wish I broke it up at that point, you can set a bookmark after the event. You could, while you're playing back the recording as well.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It also supports music. It plays music, so it's a little MP3 file player as well. And it also supports, it can play Daisy books, but it doesn't have Daisy navigation. So it will just play the MP3 files.
So presumably you can connect it directly to your computer and then sort of upload
Yes.
music files from your computer onto it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can do
Yeah.
exactly that. Yeah. And it supports those as well. So it records, it does, yeah, it's the same as you can download your files as well. So once you've recorded them, you can copy them onto the computer as well.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It just comes up as a drive on your computer, you know, as a memory card reader.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it'll be an external device. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing you can do with it, which is interesting, is in settings, it's got an option to be powered by USB. So what that means is you can plug it in by USB, set it to being powered by USB, and then record forever and ever. You know, you don't run out of battery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Via the computer, you mean? Plug it into the computer and
Or a USB
or a
battery,
mains.
you know, or a mains charger.
USB
Yeah.
power bank, if you're doing a long lecture.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah,
well,
that's a good
Quite,
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, mind you,
Yeah.
the battery does last.
Lectures.
The battery just does last about 30 hours. So if you've got full batteries, you can have a long lecture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
sometimes
as many lecturers that will go 30 hours in a go.
Oh, you're recording
2 hours,
Glastonbury.
you get 30.
I think sometimes it can be an advantage when the devices do take them rechargeable batteries, because it means that you can have spares with you and you can change them over. Whereas when you have things of, you know, lithium batteries that are internal, if you haven't got another power source with you, you know, to recharge it up,
Well, that's it. They're dead, aren't they?
yeah, you're a bit
See, and Andrew, you
Scooby-Dooed.
just take the back off there, see? And
Yeah.
use your batteries.
When you take the batteries out,
Yeah.
obviously it's not being powered by anything. So how does it retain the information on files?
It's got flash memory installed.
Right.
So even if you take the batteries out, your recordings are still there.
Okay.
In other words, it's got like a memory card on board inside it, you know.
And it's not going to forget what time it is, like the Olympus when you do that, because the
Yes,
Olympus.
it does. Yes, it does forget what time it is if you take the batteries out.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not powered at all when you take the batteries out.
Right. So you do have to. Is it if it's internet enabled? Could it not have an
it's not.
automatic update time?
It's not internet enabled, no.
No, but I wonder whether or not that's a feature that could be added.
Well, no, because it hasn't got a Wi-Fi chip in it.
No, but I mean that's
You mean
something
a
that
new
could be
product,
added down the line.
Yeah, you mean a new recorder, perhaps?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that you can automatically update the time without having to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that would be beyond, possibility.
Maybe one actually that that uploads. You do your recordings on it and stuff, and then it uploads them to the cloud at the same time. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you can get apps to do that, can't you?
Yeah, that would be cool if it was like there's like a standalone voice recorder that had the when you were on the Wi-Fi or tethered to your phone with it, you did your recordings and then they just went up into the cloud like other things do on your phone and stuff. That would be maybe that's a future thing. Maybe
It's also got an external mic socket, so you don't have to rely on the built-in mics. You can plug in high-quality mics as well.
Right.
And you can plug in line devices as well. So if you plug a CD player into it, you can select line input and then record from that.
Yeah, that is
a bit like we used to with Top of the Pop for the cassette player, a line in and a radio.
Still get people asking me sometimes. Do you know where I can get a double cassette recorder from? Because they're what people used to use back in the day, and you'd get. You'd get the tape off your mate, you'd record it onto another one. And then your other mate would say, can I have a copy of that recording? And the more recordings you do, the hiss would get bigger, wouldn't it be? On the tape.
Yeah.
And you could tell, this has been recorded so many other times.
But it's a good little recorder. And very, very small. I mean, it's smaller than most of the Olympus ones.
Yeah,
handy size, definitely.
Excellent. Yeah, really good product. Have we got any other questions for Steve?
Yeah, it's David Evans here. I've just got one question regarding the Navi belt.
Yeah.
How viable is it? We go on the walks in our local blind society in the countryside. So you're talking about going over fields and climbing stiles and things like that. How far has it, or how has anybody tried it in the countryside yet? Because that is an area where you will need a compass, even if you're fully sighted. Sometimes you need a compass, don't you? Are you facing north or south? And obviously, if you're blind, then
I don't see why the environment would make a difference, whether you're in the country or the town with the compass, because it's magnetic. But you see, what does make a difference is if you're in a vehicle, which is where you're surrounded by metal, then the compass might not be so accurate.
Yeah.
But if you're in a vehicle, you wouldn't really need to use it at that point in time.
You don't, but I do, because I'm like that. I just sit in the vehicle, go, oh yeah, we're going west today.
That's a good point, actually, Steve. So if you were in a vehicle and you were using the belt, could you use the app for navigation so that
No, it's only for walking navigation.
Just for walk, right? Okay, got you.
But you could use other apps, obviously, but you couldn't use the belt app for navigating.
Right.
It's not designed for vehicle navigation.
Yeah, and so as well, like for example, there are the Bose frames that people can wear now as well, which have like a built-in compass in the Bose frames that some apps can use the information from that compass, when you're navigating, so that you don't have to have your phone out and have it, stood up, if you like, pointing to the sky so that you've got in the right direction. I mean, I suppose there's a compass there in the Navi belt, but I suppose the only app that has access to that would be the official app, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but the belt itself is a compass, isn't it? Because remember, the belt is vibrating.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking that's going to make the navigation quite good, because it means you probably haven't got to have your phone out all the time in your hand to try and get the best compass position for the GPS. You see?
No, I mean, I've even left my phone at home and just gone out.
More secure.
Yeah.
But
if you don't have to have your phone out.
Yeah.
Because in a town, especially not so much in the countryside, but in a town, you can get your phone nicked. An iPhone.
But No, I don't see why it would be a problem in countryside or wherever, because it's not relying on anything internet wise. The compass is using its own built-in magnetic compass, you see.
Yeah.
So it
But
should
and
be
that's what's in the app. Is it? Do you put into the app where you want to go?
yes. So you go into the app and you, just like any GPS app, you type in your address or your point of interest, nearest post office.
Postcode.
Yeah.
Yep, do that, and
Yeah.
then hit the navigate button, and then as you start walking, the app says on your phone, turn left, and the belt taps on the left hand side.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you can get your voiceover audio through the app,
Yeah.
as
And the
well as the
haptic
taptic.
directions.
Yeah.
And you can wear headset at the same time. Now, I've actually worn a Bluetooth earpiece and the belt, and you can hear it through the earpiece, and the belt taps you, so that you get two confirmations, really, don't you?
How can you have two Bluetooth things working at once?
Well, because the belt doesn't use audio, so the belt only uses audio
Yeah.
input. So
Yeah.
the belt,
The
because
belt
the belt doesn't
haptic.
use audio, you can have one audio device connected, so you can have one of each type connected, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, right.
It's the same that you can have a Bluetooth earpiece and a Bluetooth keyboard connected at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. With my iPhone, I could have keyboard connected. I can have my Apple Watch connected, and I could have an audio source connected as well. So I can, I could have three or four.
You can have up to 5 devices, I think, connected at once.
Yeah.
So the belt can be connected, your Bluetooth earpiece can be connected, so you haven't got to worry about noisy traffic because you can hear the phone through your ear. But you've also got the confirmation of the belt tapping you, vibrating at the same time. So it's pretty good.
Yes, I'm looking forward to trying it, Steve. I'll definitely have to give it a go.
Yeah.
At some point on a walk or something. Next time you come to Galloway's, that would be good.
Yeah.
Excellent, really good question there, Mosey. Thanks for that. Excellent. Have we got anybody else would like to? We should take one or two more questions. If anyone's got any more questions for Steve, have we got any takers? Anybody want to ask anything?
Whose audio software do you use? You say you train people to use audio software.
You mean for audio recording and restoration and that? Yeah, I use Reaper.
Right.
Reaper is it's quite complex piece of audio software because it's multi-track.
Right. Yeah.
But it's what we call non-destructive. What that means is you can import a file to it, and you're not working on the original file. You're working on an imported version of the file.
Okay.
And so it's completely non-destructive, and you can add effects to it, and you can add equalization and normalization and do all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we train people on that. And there's an excellent list as well, an email list called Reapers Without Peepers.
Oh, right.
Which I like. And there's some really helpful guys and gals on there that have certainly helped me out with Reaper when I got to know it. And I'm still learning every day about Reaper. It's amazing piece of software.
It must be heavy software. It must be like Audition in terms of,
Yeah, anyway, it's like Audition, but it's more accessible.
Yeah. Well, Audition isn't. That's the problem. This is why, Reaper is the industry standard, isn't it? Audition's the industry standard. You go into a recording studio, that's what you find. Yet it's least accessible. Audacity is better than that.
Yeah.
For accessibility, I mean.
Yep. And Reaper, I'd say, is better than Audacity because there's a plugin for Reaper called Osara, which is open source access to Reaper accessibility, right? And that's written by a guy called Jamie Tay, and he was one of the founders of NVDA.
Oh, right.
And he's blind himself.
Yeah.
So he's written an accessible interface to Reaper, so we can access things that we wouldn't normally be able to.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's interesting because I know there's an add-on for Audacity to make it screen reader more friendly.
Yeah.
Including NVDA.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff.
Brilliant. So yeah, we can train off on Reaper if anyone's interested.
Cool.
I've got a customer at the moment. I'm training her, and she's doing radio promos now.
Oh,
Ah, right. So doing her own audio editing.
She's really coming on
things like
well.
that,
She's doing
yeah.
radio promos, and she said, "Oh, I'm not going back to Soundforge after this."
So suppose if you want to
Alright.
be, if you want to like learn to podcast and things like that, and do your own
Yeah.
productions, suppose that's a good way of.
Talking of
Let-
which, we run our own podcast as well. Angie and I do a monthly podcast, and it's called Our Place,
Oh,
and it's just two blind people blogging about life, really,
oh,
and
excellent.
about technology and stuff like that.
Ah, right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if you want to hear what's new about computer room services and about me and about Angie, you can keep up with Our Place.
Excellent.
Anywhere you get podcasts, you can do it on the stream or the Bumblebee or whatever you use.
Yeah.
You can say play Our Place on the A Lady,
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh,
Yeah, play Our Place podcast.
Can you get that on the A Lady as well, Steve?
Can, yep.
Ah, okay. There you go. Say
Now
the
we-
lady in the corner or the A Lady.
Yeah.
You can say
Play-
play Our
play-
Place podcast, and
Play
that'll
Our Place podcast. Yeah.
awesome.
oh,
Give
Yeah.
that a go. There you go. Something new to listen
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Right.
And funny enough, the latest podcast is demonstrating the Ultranix recorder. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah,
Excellent. There you go. You hear that, guys? Go and give that a go. It's the
Yeah.
Our Place podcast from
Oh,
Computer Room
right.
Services from Steve and Angie. So
Yeah.
you can give that a go as well. Excellent.
the website, if you want to subscribe manually, is ourplace-podcast.info.
Our Place. Okay.
Dash
Brilliant.
podcast.info. I'll send you the link, Andrew, if you want.
Excellent. Yeah, we can send
Yeah,
that
it's-
around. Well, this is
it's not-
Steve. It's been
It's not all about computer room services. It's more about me and Angie, but we slip in
Yeah,
computer room services.
yeah. It's good. It's good to get it's good to get your own kind of perspectives across as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Excellent. No, Steve, it's been great having you on again today. I really enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody else has as well. And it's great
Yeah.
to see some new technology that we've not seen before. And as Steve says, if anybody is interested in any of Steve's products or services, you can go on the website. Steve, what's the website again?
But the website is either comproom.co.uk, that's the short version, or computer-room-services.co.uk. Either one will get you there.
Or if you go on Google, just type in computer room services.
Whoa.
Dead easy. Well, Steve Nutt from Computer Room Services, and I know Angie's not there. You have to say hello to Angie for us all, and also we must thank the glamorous Debbie as well for her assistance.